What's going on, people? Today, we're going to have a little conversation about the value of hard work. I recently came across an article that was disparaging that many people, they were taking a survey, and they were disparaging hard work. These folks were doubtful that hard work would make their futures better. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And it got me to thinking, what's going on where there are so many people who don't think that hard work is going to yield proper dividends? And I got some opinions on that. Got a few thoughts about that, and I'm going to share with you guys in just a second. All right, boom, that's gone. There are so many people out here who are looking for shortcuts. They're looking not to work that hard, not to suffer, not to sacrifice, not to do what they need to do to get ahead. There are many, many people out here like that. And, like the video I put up the other day, how to repair a jacked up life. This is some of the same medicine in the same regard as that video. Because here's the deal. You are where you are in life because the lack of a proper education. And this is one of the things that is so serious that is happening in America. I have people, I put up a video talking about the decline, America's not declining. The rest of the world is catch up. And I had people who wanted to challenge me. And then one of the people was challenging was saying that they met all of these foreign students going to American universities. Why are they coming here to go to American universities? For that American education. See, when people start to talk about the decline of America, this is a racist trope. This is coming from older white people that remember how it used to be before America became more equitable. Right now, America is the most fair that it's ever been. America is extremely fair compared to its racist, its violent past. You can be gay and get put on. You could be a woman and get put on. You could be trans and get put on. America is very, very fair, which means there's more competition. You can't get by just being a white male anymore. That ended about 35 years ago. It used to be if you were a white male, all you had to do was just wave your white male finger and the world would bend to your will. Doesn't work like that anymore. And this is what people say when it's like, make America great again. Make America white male again. Right now, this is something I've been watching ever since I've been on YouTube. This is something that I've noticed, that opportunity is available to everyone with the right information. That's the key. That's the key that unlocks this whole situation. That's the key, that there are so many people who are out there who do not feel that hard work will pay off. In the thumbnail, I'm deadlifting like 480 pounds, and lifting weights teaches you how to work hard over time. And, I get in the weight room, I start applying myself, all right, thanks, Erica. Yeah, because I did not, the first one I sent out, it didn't go out. So I just left it alone. But one of the things that I want you guys to understand, and I want you to understand this process. First, there's strategic hard work. You don't, I mean, like a man, a man that goes out, digs a ditch, he's working hard. And if the purpose of his endeavor is to dig a big hole, he is successful. There are many people who are digging ditches, but they want to build empires. They're working in the wrong regard, because let's take one of these common tropes. Right now, there are many people who feel that if you have a full-time job, regardless of what you're doing, that should yield you enough money to live how you want to live. So if you're working at the Jiffy Lube, you're working at McDonald's, you're working at Burger King, you're working at, Firehouse Subs, that job of preparing sandwiches and serving them to customers should pay you a wage that would make your life easier. Now, once again, I'm from the School of Economics. You're paid upon how easy it is to replace you. You're not paid like, okay, well, you got a job, so we're going to pay you enough to be able to afford an apartment. We're going to pay you enough. That's not the school of thought that I come from. I come from the economy that your pay is based upon how easy it is to replace you. And that's why fully, all right, Douglas Jones, good deal. That's why your pay that's why 80% of the jobs in America are low paying. 80%. Lee Dad, my dad used to tell me you can't plant a flower and expect a tree. That's some good advice. That's some very good advice. One of the things that I want you guys to get hip to is strategic hard work. Not just, there was this meme a few years ago of this lady in New York who had like 3 low-paying jobs. She worked very hard. She was very industrious. But all during her jobs, and she was working like 2 full-time jobs and a part-time job, I think she made $45,000 a year working all those jobs. And it was like, she's a hard worker. I got mad respect. Benny, we're not talking about that right now. This is 2020, where we're going to stick about the subject matter of the value of hard work. And I want you guys to understand, and we're going to get into the educational components, because one of the things, and CoffeeZilla, he hit me to a lot of stuff, is how delusional most of America is. If you spend $2,000 to $3,000 to $10,000 for an online course, right, and expect that to yield 6 figures, more likely that's not going to work. And expect the expectations to yield 6 figures in a few months. It's not going to work. So the first problem is most of America is delusional. Delusional. Because they don't understand the concept of hard work, strategic hard work. Strategic hard work will open up doors for you, will get you in the driver's seat. But see, here's the thing. Strategic hard work doesn't happen like that. Most of America is on this immediate gratification tip. If I do X, Y, Z, I need to get a result immediately. I need to get a result promptly. And this is one of the things. Back in the day, in the 60s to 50s to 40s, there used to be this thing called apprenticeship. Like if you wanted to be a plumber's apprentice, you wanted to be a welding apprentice. And this is where you worked under a seasoned, skilled labor. And after a few years, yes, a few years, you got the skills to call yourself a plumber or a welder. And this is how most of America was groomed, that if you were going to do something, it was going to take time. I don't know what happened or when it happened that things changed, where people started, I think it started with television, where people would see people on television having these wonderful, great lives, and then they felt that they could have that. Because see, here's another thing. Remember, Christmas wasn't too long ago. You remember all these car commercials for the Lexus, and and these people were coming out of luxury houses. I want you to think, what kind of job does a wife have that she can go out and finance a truck on her own without her husband even knowing about it? She got a really good job. Or she get, there was a YouTuber, there was a female YouTuber who has 2 really good channels, and she bought her husband a truck, pay cash. And one of the things I remarked was there were women in those positions that still wouldn't do that because they don't feel like that they should provide for a man. And I'll get more into that on Disruptive Male. But the value of hard work is so underrated, so underappreciated, because people are operating on false information. They're operating on, like, this stream. I didn't really expect it to get a lot of views because everybody's looking for a shortcut. I look at someone that creates, wow, artificial. I've put up a lot of videos. That's sad to hear. YouTube's a hater. Like Shopify tutorials, Amazon FBA. These guys come up and they just start talking about this one thing and their channels blow up because with Shopify, if you have the right information, you can get results in a week. Amazon FBA, not so much, but there's been so much hype about Amazon FBA that people will go with it, And so there's this great lack of patience. There's this great lack of patience that so many people are not willing to wait. They're not willing to be an apprentice of whatever they're doing. So Amazon FBA, Shopify tutorials, all of these hacks designed to get rapid and amazing results has people drunk. Because see, here's the danger with that. Even if you don't get those rapid, amazing results, if you know that they exist, this will prevent you from putting in the hard work you need to put in. The guy from Dirty Jobs is explaining how they made it harder to get. Yes, America's, it's been harder to get certain apprenticeships. It's just, there's so many people who want these competitive skills. But once again, knowing, and here's just something for you guys, just knowing that there is a potentially faster way to yield results will keep you from working as hard as you need to be. Let me say that again. Just knowing there's a potential shortcut, even though you don't have access to it, even though you're not using this shortcut, is enough to keep you from working as hard as you need to work. And, we're having this discussion on Facebook because everyone is like trying to get out of working hard. It's like, I'm going to do it the smart way. I'm not going to work that hard. And I'm going to tell you the value of hard work. When you work on something hard, like my Craigslist marketing system took me a year of trial and error to build. Took me a year of hard work, posting every day. I was getting results, but once I finally figured it out and figured out the Craigslist algorithm, that system that took me a year to build made me money for about 8 to 9 years. Then I tweaked the system and it got me sexual pleasure for about 10 years. So that's 18 years of results from a year and 90 days, from 13 months results, 13 months of hard work, 18 years. And this is one of the things I want you guys to understand. Like, you know, once you begin to build, once you begin to understand the path of delayed gratification, how do you clarify the difference between how to be efficient and trying to avoid hard work? The first thing is you must outline the goal and you must figure out a way to get to your goal. Go back to the Craigslist marketing system. My goal was to sell as many products as possible on Craigslist.
Hi everyone, Matt Watson here from CarWow. I brought together 6 of the latest and greatest electric cars to answer 2 questions I bet you probably all have. The first is, what is the real world range of these cars? How far can you drive them until they run out of battery? Battery power too low?
Good Lord!
No! Also, if you do run out of battery, what happens? Do they suddenly stop working and you lose things like power steering?
The car won't move because the motors are actually just locked.
We're going to drive these cars from this service station, which is on the outskirts of London, up north, and see how far they'll go before they conk out. Wish me luck. Before we start this test, I just want to point something out. We have charged these cars to full overnight, and then we've left them